While it may seem like a highly unlikely possibility, a nuclear attack is still a disaster we should be prepared for, just in case. Don't let the thought stress you out though. Being prepared for emergencies is just smart thinking. Plus, having a plan in place can give you a peace of mind and help you feel more in control during a crisis. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 things you can do to help increase your chances of survival in the event of a nuclear attack. "25. Do not drink the tap water. Don't turn on the faucet. In the event of a nuclear explosion, radioactive particles could potentially find their way into our water supply, making it unsafe to drink. But don't worry, there are ways to stay hydrated in the meantime. Until the all clear has been given, stick to bottled water or water that's been properly treated and stored. And remember, no matter how tempting it may be, do not drink from the tap or even use it to wash your hands or face. Safety first, friends." That was a weird way to do that because I have a little cap thingy, so I was in the wrong. Nailed it. I know how to drink water. 24. Stay with your family. It's understandable to feel a range of emotions during a nuclear attack. Fear, anxiety, stress, you name it. But it's crucial to try and keep a cool head and make smart decisions to protect yourself and your loved ones. Staying with your family or support system can provide emotional support and make it easier to communicate and coordinate actions. And if you happen to get separated, don't panic. Find a safe place to shelter and follow the instructions of local authorities and emergency responders. If you're able, try to reach out to your loved ones to let them know you're safe and see if they need any help. 23. Keep a list of emergency contact numbers. Be ready for anything by keeping a list of important numbers, like your local emergency management agency, on hand at all times. You never know when a nuclear attack or natural disaster may strike, so it's best to be prepared. Plus, having this information with you at all times is like having a superpower. You'll be ready to tackle any crisis that comes your way. And to be fair, a lot of people don't remember numbers these days because we just take our phones, hit the button, and call, so having it written down, do it. 22. Stay informed. Get in the know and listen to the pros. When it comes to staying safe during a nuclear attack, it's important to pay attention to local authorities like the police, fire department, and emergency management agencies. They're the authorities on the situation at hand and have access to resources and information that can help keep you safe. Don't let gossip or unreliable sources steer you wrong. They may not be accurate and could potentially put you in harm's way. Trust in the experts and follow their instructions to keep yourself and your loved ones safe and sound. That's just a good rule in general. Trust in the experts. 21. Follow medical advice. Speaking of good general advice, did you know that if a nuclear attack were to happen, there are some pretty amazing professionals out there who can help keep you safe and healthy? It's true. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and all other healthcare professionals are experts in their field and are ready and willing to provide top-notch treatment recommendations. Trust in their knowledge and follow their advice to make sure you come out of this situation feeling your best. 20. Cover your wounds. Don't let any pesky radioactive particles ruin your day. Cover those wounds up. Then make sure to give them a good scrub down with some soap and water before applying the ointment. A clean wound is a happy wound, so let's make sure to give our boo-boos the TLC they deserve. If you're unable to properly tend to your injury, don't worry. Just head on over to the nearest medical professional and let them take care of everything. Didn't know there was such a thing as a happy wound, but in this case, being alive, I guess, is a happy wound. 19. Stay away from floodwaters. If you come across floodwaters during a nuclear attack, it's important to avoid them like the plague. These waters may be contaminated with radioactive particles, so it's best to steer clear. If you need to cross a flooded area, try to use a bridge or other elevated structure if possible. If you must walk through water, do your best to stay dry and avoid swallowing. Now let's hope that you don't have to deal with any flooded areas during a nuclear attack, but if you do, just remember to stay safe and avoid the water. The water is literally lava, figuratively lava. 18. Cover your mouth and nose. Are you ready to become a superhero during a nuclear attack? Well, follow these simple steps to protect yourself from harmful radioactive particles in the air. Grab a stylish cloth or mask, cover your mouth and nose with it, and boom, you're a superhero. I don't have one. I could use the green screen, but that might throw things off. Wait, no, I don't have one. It's over there. 17. Do not use elevators. Elevators may not be the safest choice after a nuclear attack. It's best to avoid using them if possible, as they may not function properly due to power disruptions or damage. If you're in a building during an attack, make your way to the nearest staircase and evacuate as quickly as possible. If you're stuck in an elevator, try to stay calm and follow any instructions provided by local authorities or emergency responders. If you can safely get off at the nearest floor, do so and seek shelter. If you're unable to leave the elevator, use the emergency call button or intercom system to get help. Remember, it's always better to play it safe and take the stairs. 16. Do not use public transportation. After a nuclear attack, it's a good idea to steer clear of using public transportation. While it may be tempting to hop on the bus or train, these vehicles may be contaminated with radioactive particles. Yikes. If you have access to a private vehicle, it's a good idea to use that instead. If not, you may need to get creative and use alternative modes of transportation like walking, biking, or even riding a horse-drawn carriage, if you're feeling fancy. While it may not be the most convenient option, it's important to prioritize your safety and avoid any potential risks. Nuclear winter gives a whole new meaning to a one-horse open sleigh. 15. Stay away from debris or fallen power lines. If you want to stay safe after a nuclear attack, it's crucial to avoid getting too close to any objects that might be contaminated with radioactive particles. That includes things like debris, fallen power lines, and any other items that may have come into contact with those particles. By keeping your distance from these objects, you can help protect yourself from radiation exposure and reduce your risk of any health problems. So stay alert and steer clear of anything that looks suspicious. 14. Stay away from damaged buildings. Be aware of your surroundings and avoid heavily damaged or potentially unstable buildings. These structures may be wobbly, dangerous, and just plain creepy, so it's best to steer clear. If you're in a damaged building when a disaster occurs, don't panic. Just try to safely evacuate as quickly as possible. If you can't leave, go to a room on the lowest level away from windows and exterior walls and take shelter until it's safe to leave. 13. Follow evacuation orders. If local authorities issue an evacuation order, it's time to get moving. The safety of you and your loved ones is the top priority, so trust in the guidance of the professionals and do what they say to stay as safe as possible. Remember, a nuclear attack is a very serious and potentially catastrophic event, so it's important to take all necessary precautions. 12. Do not use the phone. It's a digital emergency. If you're trying to get a hold of someone after a nuclear attack, remember to be strategic with your phone usage. We don't want to clog up the lines and make it harder for professionals to do their thing. So only make calls that are super important, like checking in on your BFFs or letting someone know that you're hurt and need help. By using your phone wisely, you'll be doing your part to make sure the emergency responders can get through and save the day. 11. Wash your hands and face thoroughly. Remember to wash your hands and face thoroughly with soap and water to remove any pesky radioactive particles. This simple step can go a long way in reducing your exposure to radiation and protecting your health. If you don't have access to water, don't worry. Just use a wet cloth or sponge to wipe down your skin and hair and remove as much radioactive material as possible. Wait, if you don't have water, wet naps. 10. Remove your clothes and shoes. A nuclear attack is not the time to be shy. If your clothes and shoes were outside, they may have picked up some unwanted radioactive particles. Yuck. To reduce your exposure to those particles and prevent the spread of contamination, it's important to take them off as soon as you find a safe place to shelter. Pop them in a sealed bag or container to prevent any further contamination. 9. Do not drink or eat anything that may have been contaminated. Steer clear of any foods or drinks that may have come into contact with radioactive particles. Trust me, you don't want to take a sip of that mystery beverage or chow down on a suspicious snack. Keep yourself and your taste buds safe by sticking to the stuff you know is good and uncontaminated. 8. Lie flat on the ground. If you happen to be caught outside during a nuclear attack and can't find shelter, don't freak out. There are still ways to protect yourself from the blast and radiation. Just lie flat on the ground, cover your head and body with a coat or blanket. It may not be the most comfortable position, but it can help to keep you safe until you can find a more permanent place of shelter. 7. Close windows, blinds, and drapes. Time to get creative and turn your home into a fortified fortress. In case of a nuclear attack, it's important to make sure your windows, blinds, and curtains are all closed tight. This helps to keep out any unwanted radioactive particles and keep you and your loved ones safe. 6. Stop driving. No need to panic if you're cruising along in your car when a nuclear attack strikes. Just pull over and find a nearby building that looks solid and safe to shelter in. Trust me, your car is not the best place to be during a nuclear attack. By finding a secure building to hunker down in, you'll increase your chances of survival and protect yourself from all the dangers that come with a nuclear attack. 5. Take cover. And if you find yourself inside a building during a nuclear attack, there are still ways to protect yourself. One option is to head to the basement or any other underground area, if possible. Well, it sucks to be in Florida, I guess. We don't really have basements. These spaces can provide some protection from the initial blast and radiation and can increase your chances of survival. Don't be afraid to get a little dusty and crawl into that underground space. It could save your life. 4. Seek shelter. No one wants to be caught outside when a nuclear explosion goes off, but there are still ways to protect yourself. First and foremost, find a nearby building to shelter in, as long as it's not visibly damaged. These structures can provide some protection from the initial blast and radiation. Don't be afraid to bust through those doors and find a safe spot to hunker down in. It could save your life. 3. Stay tuned to the local news. In case of a nuclear attack, it's important to stay informed and follow instructions from local authorities. One way to do this is by following local news outlets on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These accounts can provide updates and instructions to help you stay safe. And if the internet goes down, just tune in to your local radio stations for updates and news. 2. Keep an emergency supply kit. Don't get caught off guard during a nuclear attack, or really any other emergency. Make sure you have an emergency supply kit on hand. This kit should include non-perishable food, water, a flashlight, a battery-powered radio, and first aid supplies. By having these essentials on hand, you'll be prepared for anything that comes your way. Also, don't wait until the last minute. Get your kit ready now and be prepared for any eventuality. For us Floridians, hurricanes. People out west, earthquakes. People in the Midwest, tornadoes. People anywhere else, other things. Just have one. 1. Find out if there are any designated shelters around. The number one thing you need to do in case of a nuclear attack is to find out if there are any designated shelters in your area and head to the nearest one as soon as possible. These shelters can provide protection from the initial blast and radiation and can increase your chances of survival. Don't wait around. Get to that shelter and stay safe. So, as grim as it may be, what other tips can you think of in case of a nuclear attack? Let us know in the comments below. And I know and understand that a lot of these seem like common sense. And they are. But the problem is, think about how panicky the average person can get in the case of an emergency. Sometimes common sense goes right out the window. So I know you're watching these going, well, duh, everyone knows that. Like, yeah, don't eat radioactive food. You might not be thinking, so we're kind of letting you know now. So yeah, before you guys start talking, oh, it's common sense. Yes, it is. But like I said, it goes out the window sometimes in cases of panic. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos, including our shorts, join our Discord, and become a member. That way you can help support us so we can keep bringing you amazing content just like this. So, as always, see you next time.
Be sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.